My name is Lecturer Kilaji Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, who have taught so many colleges in Kenya Republic, and also presidential aspirant come 2027, and to my Liberation Reformation Movement Party. Okay, if His Excellency Supreme People's Power President will not fire for the presidency, I will fire instead, because I'm going to also marry very soon the daughter of Supreme Power President, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, youngest daughter, East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament very soon. In Africa, Samburu tradition, Maasai wedding, God willing, near future. And is actually the lady. She is actually East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament, Honorable Winnie Imgad Raila Amolo Odinga. So I want you to know about Satan. Who is Satan? We are told actually in Isaiah 14:12, Satan was one of the God's angels, and I'm going to read it shortly, which actually became God opposition leader. It read like this in Isaiah 14, which was the book was written by Prophet Isaiah. He stated clearly that how you fallen from heaven, that is Satan. A morning star, son of dawn, you have been cast down to earth. You once laid down the nations. He was one of the God-created angels. Satan was assured of being perfect before his sin. In Ezekiel also 28:14 and Isaiah 14:12. And Satan is the prince of the power of the air. If you read Matthew 8:29, Satan is also the God of this world. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, and also Satan began sin in 1 John 3:8, and Ezekiel 28, chapter 28, verse 15 to 17, and Satan deceiver and the father of lies in John 8:44, and Satan is the accuser of everyone, including you and me. So Satan dwells in the air, in the spirit world of evil, spirit walking around like a roaring lion to look someone to devour or to eat. In Ephesians 2:2, chapter 2, verse 2 and 6:12, and 1 Peter chapter 5:8. What do I want to say? I said I'm a aspirant of Kenya Republic come 2022, and we need to know Satan is there. And it has also what we call actually the work of is normally also in a form of demons. Satan is also in a form of demon. It usually inflicts people with diseases. If you read John chapter 1 verse 5 to 10 and Matthew 9:33, you will see, and Luke chapter 9 verse 34 to 42, and among others. And it also causes mental disorders, although it is not always. In Mark chapter 5 verse 4 and 5 and Luke 8:35, and also we are told Satan can also lead many people into moral impurity to commit a sin of adultery and fornication in Matthew 10 verse 1 and 12:43 and Mark 1:23 to 24, and also disseminate false doctrine and uses false and trained priests to cause problems like Kenya, Chakahola priest, which has killed so many people. In 1 Kings chapter 22 verse 23 to 23 and 2 Thessalonians chapter 2:2 and 1 Timothy 4:1. So know the truth about the matter, and sometimes also possesses human beings, although not all the time, and even animals in Matthew chapter 4 verse 24. So no, Satan is real kabisa. Shaitani iko kabisa. And that's why I wrote sometimes even to the Kenya president and also Supreme Power President Raila Amolo Odinga. I told them in this book, peace, sometimes, okay, this book I've written actually sometimes, June 2023, and the book was concerning about peace, because I know Satan is real and he likes to make people to fight. And I being also Kamatusa chairman since 2000 to now, I wrote to them to tell them how I told them about many Kenyans who are worried about the future. They are struggling with the personal and spiritual issues that are causing anxiety, uncertainty, or fear about their tomorrow life. And I think this book has helped them, because now they are trying to mediate about peace. I told them we are also in a Allotic group of mine. Like now I am a Samburu priest, and Allotic group Maasai from Upper Eastern Marsabit County. I told them Kamatuza, which is Kalenjin, some of them, and Maasai, Turkana, and Samburu, and also Luo. We are Allotic warlike people, and sometimes we possess weapons. I told them also to help us, those who are people who are advocating for peace, to help our people to disarm them peacefully, in a way of not actually making them to fight each other. And I also told them that to look for answers. That is actually targeting God. God is targeting at our hearts. And you so that we can be really people who are advocating peace and love and unity of purpose. But they have not responded, particularly the president, because he's the one who is handling Kenya Treasury orders. I told them to give us 350 million so that we can at least bring peace, which is actually a psychological kind of peace that comfort people within, a relational peace, a harmony among humanity, and spiritual peace, which is between God and man. But the president have not responded. I've given his office this book, and I told them to give us money, alright, so that we can at least help our people, so that they can at least stop actually damaging each other and creating creating more problem to themselves. And also areas of conflict I have told them to resolve. Both the president and the people's president, His Excellency Raila Odinga. I told them to choose good time and also to plan ahead of whatever they want to discuss, and not to blame each other and call each other names, and also to give the right information and to listen to each other and show that they are listening and talk at it all through whatever they will discuss about peace and love and unity of purpose. Alright? And I told them the disadvantages of war can destroy communities and families, and they can disrupt the development of the social and economic fabric of nations, like a Kenya developing country. And the effect of war also include long-term physical and psychological harm to children and adults, as well as a reduction in material and humanity capital, like what we are now experiencing in Kenya. Although there's no war, but at least the 5 effects of war, we are seeing it, which is caused by economic stock market crashing down, and that is death, injury, sexual violence, malnutrition in all for 7 county government and 290 councils and 1,450 ward assemblies, illnesses without any help from the government of Kenya, disability people are also in problem. They are not actually having any help. I have one of them. It is here, my son, amputated leg. I told the government to help us. They are saying there's no form to help. Now we are just at home. I told them to help us with the disability before help. They refused. They are not honoring. And I told them the effect of war, as I stated, and there's a widespread also of HIV and AIDS. There's no drugs in Kenya. Alright? So Kenya now is in a problem, and I want the president to do something at least, rather than continuing selling all corporations, the one I've stated, including even the one which is actually hosting the offices of senators, members of parliament, Kenyatta International Convention Center. They are planning to sell, among other 10, parastatals of sets, which of course I don't know where the president is planning to leave the country. I don't know, like what other president did and left the country, like Uganda president, His Excellency the late Idi Amin, and also His Excellency also Said Barre of Somalia, and many others. Okay, they normally start selling parastatals of the states and leave the other next government to be into problem, whereby people will not have where to stay. So I want the president to stop doing that. I told him yesterday, and also to help us with the Kenya shilling 350 million shillings to help our people to disarm them, and also to show them the importance of war and how to solve conflicts as the main alternative dispute resolution ADR method available in Kenya, and that is negotiation conciliation, meditation, and arbitration. Okay, that is mandatory required by the parties or tribes to come to each other. Otherwise, remember Kenyans that I'm looking to be the Kenya president, and I just want to actually to know that there is what we call the main cause of conflict in Kenya, and that loss of traditional grazing land sometimes causes problem to pastoralists, and cattle rustling also is another problem, and lack of alternative sources of livelihood that bring also fears of terrorism. People now will rob each other and also kill each other. Like now what we have witnessed in Nairobi, 94 million shillings have been taken by 4 workers of a certain company because of stock market economy crashing down, and they probably have fled to another country. We don't know. So what will happen if there is no peace? There will be a lot of chaos and lawlessness. In verse John 3:4, and the wages of sin is death. Alright, in Romans 6:23, and there will be a lack of order and maintenance in society, as people will always be clashing with each other as a result of relationship breakdown, and the general lack of justice and accountability continue to erode social cohesions among tribes, like now 50 tribes of Kenya and above. And so they will tend to result in, feeling of despair and helplessness and social isolation, which negatively will impact on mental well-being and thus on people's social and economic circumstances across the country. Okay, so we do need justice and peace despite the Kenya economy crashing down. We need it actually so that we can eliminate our senses of being wronged. And every human has a personality experience like God. We are not like animals. We have intellect, knowledge in that case, and we have also abilities, will to decide good and bad things, and we have emotion. We can be made happy and angry by the state, and so we need justice and peace from this ruthless government of our president, Dr. William Samuel Ruto. So why is peace and justice so important? It will help us to describe the state of our soul and illumination, and that's why I said also in that case repeatedly. And justice and peace, okay, you need to be encouraged to each individual person living in Kenya, regardless of your race, tribe, religion, color, and also gender. Otherwise, may God bless you, human living in Kenya, and pray for me, because come August 9, 2027 elections, if a Supreme People's Power President will not fire for the presidency, then he will allow me, his indirect in-law, to do that with his very powerful daughter with the Masters of Political Science, which will be my dear wife soon, Honorable Winnie Imgad Raila Amolo Odinga, to unseat the president by 9 a.m. that day. Will be able to handle that. And my vice president will be none other than retired Kenya Brigadier Honorable Guguba, His Excellency Guguba. He was actually nearly to unseat the president, Kibaki 2007 elections. And we want to try again to win election come 2027 with him. I was deputizing him last election, but now he has given me an okay, together with my first lady, which is equivalent to a president also, first lady, Honorable Winnie Raila Amolo Odinga, for me, and as a president. She will be my dear wife very soon. I will marry her, and she will help me in politics, and we will unseat the president by 9 a.m. Ataenda nyumbani bana. Ataenda nyumbani, Dr. William, His Excellency Ruto. He will be going home together with this corrupt administration. So that is my word, and pray for us as we look forward. And remember, Satan is real, and it can cause a lot of problem to human beings all worldwide. Otherwise, may God bless you, human beings living in Kenya and beyond. Amen.